Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today we are going to take a quick look at Fortune, Fame, and Glory, a game designed by Joseph Mills and with art by Jason Glover. So, hey, 2 Jason Glover videos in a row. Congratulations, Jason. You have now joined the Double Dungeon Dive Club or something. Joseph Mills, some of you might be familiar with because he has done some work with Ganesha Games and Four Against Darkness, and I believe one of the Alone Against books. And he also, on his Board Game Geek bio page, in a coming soon blurb, has a book called Alone Against the Weird West. Okay, Joseph, if you're watching this, please send me that book as soon as it's done so I can take a look at it on the channel. That sounds like it is designed specifically for the Dungeon Dive. I love a Weird West and I love solo games. So yes, looking forward to that. But Joseph Mills has done quite a bit of work with Ganesha Games. And this game, Fortune, Fame, and Glory, is available for free. You can print it out. The files are available on Board Game Geek. Just Google this or just go to Board Game Geek and look for this. You can print out the files. It's a number of cards that you have to make and this rule sheet, and that is about it. And for me, I just printed out the cards on regular paper real quick at home yesterday and cut them out and then put them in the backs of these playing cards with Frank Frazetta art. Figured it was kind of thematic. So what is Fortune, Fame, and Glory? Fortune, Fame, and Glory is a very simple game where you are taking a pre-made character and you are venturing across the land and to get to the other side, and you have to do that 3 times. And at the end of your 3rd trip through the land, you are going to face off against one of the final bosses. And that is basically the whole game. It is somewhat similar to Escape the Dark Castle in that you are just flipping over a card, seeing what happens, rolling some dice, and continuing on, having a little, building a little story, a little narrative of this adventure, and kind of trying to maybe mitigate some luck in some ways, hopefully having enough food to make it, and just trying to survive this little fantasy adventure. So your character will be comprised of health, an attack value that you get to add to a d6. Combat is very easy in this game. It's a lot like Fighting Fantasy, where you roll a d6, your enemy rolls a d6, you both add a bonus. Whoever gets the highest wins and does a point of damage. You're going to keep track of how many times you've been on your adventure, because on the 4th time, at the end of the 3rd time, you're going to fight a boss. You can have a certain number of potions, a certain number of fate points. These fate points can be spent to help mitigate some of the luck. You can spend 1 point of fate to add or subtract up to 2 from the value of a die. You're going to keep track of your gold. Your gold is going to be used at certain points in the game, and you're going to keep track of your food. Every 4 cards, you have to spend 1 point of food. Sometimes bandits will try to steal your food. If you don't have enough food to feed yourself, then you lose a point of health. I do wish it was 5 cards, though. Every 4 cards is weird because the game map is 10 columns. So you will usually face about 10 cards per time through. So it would be nice if you just needed like 2 points of food for 1 complete trip, but you can go in other directions. So on this particular adventure, let's see what happened to me. I was attacked at night by an imp. I came across some hidden dangers. Some bandits attacked me, so I had to fight them. And then I encountered a swamp, and luckily I made it through. And after going through the swamp, I came across a peaceful vale and was able to heal a little bit. And then I stumbled upon some hill giants, but I was able to pass unnoticed. And then a monster attacked. I was attacked by I believe it was a kobold there. And then after fighting the kobold, I got imprisoned and was released 3 days later. And maybe I escaped from the prison by going below the city and made my way through the sewers. And then I ran into some barbarians, but they were not hostile towards me. They were actually friendly. And then finally, my last encounter for this leg of the journey, I stopped at the village inn and got a good night's rest. So now we're going on to our second leg of the journey. And so you take all of your cards here and just shuffle them up. I really do like these Frank Frazetta cards. These are the same decks of cards that I use for my House Rules of Talisman. But yeah, so give those a good shuffle here. Smash shuffle. Probably the only good thing about sleeving cards is the ability to do a smash shuffle. And then you lay those out in that same pattern. So I forgot one there, so we'll go ahead and put that there. Okay, so then you lay those out in a particular pattern. You go 1. You're going to have 10 columns. I'm not going to make sure these are real straight for this video here. And then you do 4. And then that gets repeated 4 times. Then back to 3. And then 2. And then 1. Whoops, forgot 4. All right. So here we have our map. And this is what we are going to be traveling through. And you are always going to start all the way over on your left side here. And you immediately start by flipping that card and then seeing what it is. So what do we have here? So we encountered a warrior. A warrior can be either friend or foe. If challenged, you will have to fight. So you have to roll a die and see what happens. We will roll our die there, and we rolled a 5. The warrior joins you for the next 3 cards. Okay, so the warrior will join me, and she has 4 health. So you can keep track of her with a D6 there. And that is one of the rules here in the game is followers. So some of the scenarios result in befriending a non-player character. Barbarians, wizards, and warriors. If an NPC joins you on your journey, he or she will fight with you against any rivals you encounter on the next 3 cards or until death. Take the NPC's card and put it near your character card. During combat, make separate dice rolls for your follower and any rival it's fighting. At the end of the 3rd card scenario, replace the NPC's cards back in the spot from which it was taken. So the warrior is going to join us, so I will add the warrior down here to our character card. And then from that point on, our little meeple here, our little adventure Andy, he is going to either go north or south from that second card to that second card. So I'll go up north here. And now let's see what we encounter. Okay, the swamp again. Okay, so the swamp makes for slow and dangerous travel. Many travelers have lost their lives here. Let's see what happens to us in the swamp. A 2. Leeches cover your body and legs, -1 health. And I believe that also applies to the warrior. So we're going to knock her health down to 3. And I will subtract 1 from my health, bringing our health down to 9. So that was 1 card for the warrior to follow us. So now they're going to follow us here. They will actually follow us to this column. Let's go back to the middle. Let's head south here and see what happens here. And a monster attacks. From up ahead, something moves in the dark. Suddenly, a monster charges at you. Let's see what we're going to be fighting here. A 2. A skeleton has 3 health and +1 attack, and we get 5 gold if we defeat it. Okay, so how much health? 3 health. So we'll keep track of our health on this D12 here at 3. We're going to say that the pinkish die here is the skeleton. And the skeleton adds +1. I, as a hero, add +3, and the warrior adds +3. So this should be a pretty quick fight. So 5. In order to beat the skeleton, we have to meet or beat. So +3 to my die, so I hit, +3, we both hit, doing 2 damage. And, there we go. Well, but the I missed, but the warrior hit. So I take a point of damage, but the warrior hits and kills the skelly, taking it out. And so we get 5 gold for killing that skelly. And now I have 35 gold, and the warrior is going to join me for one more scenario here, and we will move to this card here. Let's see what happens. The Peaceful Vale. All right, I've already encountered this. After a long day's travel, you find a peaceful vale. Possibly you can rest and recoup a little bit. This is a nice place for the warrior and I to part ways. And let's see, oh, 1. You find a good spot to camp, plus 1 health. Okay, and the warrior says goodbye. She travels back to her starting point. We'll put her back at the beginning there. I'm going to add 1 health, bringing us back up to 9. I'm going to just continue east here. And let's see what we discover here. A sleepy forest. Okay, after the peaceful vale, we walk into the sleepy forest. The sun is shining and the trail is soft on your feet. Let's hope nothing ruins it. Yes, let's hope. What do we discover here? Oh, 1. From out of the bushes, 2 goblins attack. Uh-oh, we have 2 goblins. They have 2 health each and a plus 2 and 5. So we would have to fight those goblins and then rinse and repeat until we make it all the way to the end. We would flip over the last card. Now, let's say this was our 3rd time through. We were on our 3rd leg of the journey. Then we would randomly fight one of these bosses or one of these final scenarios. A guarded artifact, a treasure hoard, or the dark one. So you would mix those up and you would pick one for your final scenario of your 3-leg journey. And in this case, you would have to fight the dark one. The dark one catches you off guard and attacks without warning. Act fast if you want to live. Lose 1 health immediately. The dark one stands over you, ready to strike again. The dark one has 19 health, a plus 5 to attack. On a roll of 6, the dark one does 3 damage. That is crazy. Seems very, very, very hard to beat. Hopefully you would get some strength through some of the other cards. But let's take a look to see some of a little handful of what else you might be able to encounter on this journey here. You can get imprisoned. You can find a large monster. Go below the city. You can face some crime and punishment. Maybe go visit a woodcutter camp or perhaps the manor house. You can become ambushed. You can set up a camp. You can find a health potion. And perhaps maybe you can find the Dagger of Ruins. So yeah, that is Fame, Fortune, and Glory. A very simple little game, but one that is pretty fun. Not a lot of choices, not a lot of strategy, not a lot of tactics. But if you like these simple kinds of games where you roll dice and see what happens, little choose your own adventure style games, and games that are just free that you can print and have a couple hours of fun with on a rainy afternoon or something like that, then I recommend Fortune, Fame, and Glory. It'd be hard not to, especially since it's free. All it's going to cost you is a little bit of ink and a few pieces of paper. So, all right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Fortune, Fame, and Glory. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.